If you missed NVIDIA in 23 or Bitcoin in 24, pay attention. Because in 2026, we aren't talking about chips anymore. We're talking about the fuel that keeps them alive. Right now, the world's biggest tech titans, Musk, Bezos, Zuckerberg, have stopped fighting over GPUs and started a war over a metal the world tried to forget: uranium. Without it, the AI revolution dies tomorrow. I'm about to show you a massive power shift Wall Street is trying to keep quiet. A shift that's going to determine who owns the future and why your electric bill might be the least of your worries. We've all been told AI is software, just code in the cloud. That's a lie. AI is a physical monster. Every single ChatGPT query uses at least 10 times the electricity of a Google search. Let that sink in. By now, in early 2026, data centers are projected to suck up over 1,000 terawatt hours of power. That is like plugging another Japan into the global grid. Now here's the problem. Solar and wind are great, but they go to sleep at night. AI doesn't. Data centers need something called baseload, power that stays on 24/7, no interruptions. And if you want to power a civilization-level intelligence without boiling the planet, there is only one carbon-free way to do that: nuclear. So big tech is panicking, and they're making moves you wouldn't believe a few years ago. Microsoft is literally helping resurrect the 3 Mile Island reactor. Yes, that 3 Mile Island. Amazon just bypassed the grid entirely, buying a nuclear-powered data center for $650 million. And just this week, in January 2026, Meta dropped a bombshell, a massive 6.6 gigawatt nuclear deal to power their Prometheus AI supercluster. They are building their own private nuclear-powered grids. But here is the twist. The United States is the world's biggest nuclear energy producer, yet we import 95% of our uranium. And for years, our main supplier was Russia. We spent 20 years shutting down our own mines while this AI beast was quietly growing in the basement. Now, the government is scrambling. President Trump just signed executive orders aiming to quadruple our nuclear capacity. We went from nuclear is scary to nuclear is the only way we survive the AI race in less than 24 months. This isn't about software anymore. It's a race for raw power, a race for the fuel to feed the machine. And the country that secures its energy supply won't just lead the AI revolution, they'll own it.
Okay, so we know the world's biggest tech geniuses are desperate for nuclear, but here's where it gets crazy. You can't just throw a chunk of uranium rock into a data center and expect it to generate ChatGPT responses. The journey from a hole in the ground in Utah to a fuel rod is long, expensive, and honestly, a geopolitical nightmare. If you think the oil market is manipulated, welcome to the uranium market, where the supply isn't just low, it's structurally broken. And that's your aha moment. We aren't in a price spike, we are in a decade-long supply vacuum. Let's look at the enrichment trap. This is where the US truly lost its leverage. Right now, Russia and China control 60% of the world's enrichment capacity. Think about that. Even if we dig up every pound of uranium in Arizona, we still had to send a huge chunk of it to Russia to get it enriched so it could actually work. That's why you saw uranium prices go vertical when the US banned Russian uranium imports in 2024. But there was a tiny asterisk in that law. We can keep buying it until 2028 if the Department of Energy says it's necessary. Well, guess what? 2028 is right around the corner. The clock is ticking, and the tech giants know it. This is where the smart money is moving. Look at energy fuels. They aren't just miners. They own the only conventional uranium mill in the entire US. They are the gatekeepers. Then there's Energy, restarting their Shirley Basin project in Wyoming, aiming to pump out 2.2 million pounds a year. But the real game changer, a word you need to know: HALEU. It's a special high-octane fuel needed for the small modular reactors that Google and Amazon are betting on. And on January 5th of last year, the US government effectively handed out a $2.7 billion golden ticket to domestic companies to figure out HALEU enrichment. If you're looking for where the next 10x stock is, it's hidden in these government grants. Now, I know what you're thinking, but what about the environment? What about the safety? In the 70s, mining was messy, but today, the game has changed. Companies like Energy Fuels are now signing historic deals with the Navajo Nation, not just to mine, but to clean up the toxic mess left behind 50 years ago. This is responsible mining. For the first time, environmental goals and AI growth are actually pulling in the same direction. When ESG funds start buying uranium stocks because it's green energy, that's when the real moonshot happens. The bottom line? We are heading back to the 1960s dream of power too cheap to meter, but this time it's being driven by Silicon Valley's bottomless hunger for compute. Uranium demand is set to double by 2040. Supply? It's struggling to even wake up. We are looking at a scenario where the biggest companies in history, Microsoft, Google, Meta, are basically backstopping the entire nuclear industry. They cannot afford for these mines to fail. So, ask yourself, are you going to sit on the sidelines while the most valuable atoms on Earth get repriced? If you want my exclusive list of the 3 picks and shovels stocks that provide the equipment for these new SMR reactors, comment FUEL below. I've spent months digging into the SEC filings, and you won't believe who's quietly buying in. Stay hungry, stay atomic. See you in the next one.